What does it mean to be alive? I could just say the simple answer is that our anatomy says that our hearts are beating, our brains are ticking, and our cells are alive. But no. Being alive is really difficult. You have to constantly worry about things that don't even matter in the end. Empathy is a monster. I should know. I have too much of it. Saying goodbye is the hardest thing anyone can do in life. Death is a means to an end, and it doesn't always solve all the problems and issues people think it does. It could create even more issues when you're gone. Though there are more powerful people out there, scary events that take place, unfairness, and losing the ones we love, it's important to remember that you are still breathing, you're still here, and even if you don't feel this way, there will always be someone out there who cares about you. And it's hard to feel seen when everyone ignores you and you're silenced, but there is someone out there, I'm sure of it, that cares about you and loves you and doesn't want anything bad to happen to you and always just wants the best for you. Maybe even if you don't even know them, maybe they just wish you well, you know? I've lost a lot of friends in the last decade. Moving away, friendships not working out, drama, even death. I was aware of everything. I could have done something to stop it, and I would have. But sometimes those relationships aren't meant to be. As hard as it is to let people go, sometimes you just have to. There's no use dwelling on the past anymore. Take everything you've learned from people and move on. You can forgive, but I would say never forget. You can't wish away trauma so easily. It's not that simple, but I wish it were. Remnants of the past still follow me to this day. I have trust issues now. I'm scared of people. I don't like opening up until I know I can trust them or get comfortable enough to speak my mind. I no longer open up to people with open arms and a warm heart because people aren't kind in that way. Not in the way you think. They learn to take people for advantage as a means of survival. You will be stabbed in the back if you're not careful. Not everyone is like that, but it's enough for people. It's enough to make me scared and not to trust people right away. There's a golden rule known as treat people the way you want to be treated. However, there are a lot of people out there who just disregard that rule or don't even care about it because they'll treat people badly if it means they'll get to the top. Take all the sadness, grief, loneliness, and guilt you've accumulated and understand that you are not at fault for everything that happened. You can blame yourself all you want, but you are the one who has to make the next steps to move forward in life. You can't sit around and mope and dwell for the rest of your life. Crying is not weakness. Crying is human. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, boy, girl, non-binary, crying is okay. Let it out. Sometimes it's a stress reliever, and it feels good to cry. This world can be cruel and selfish and cold and undesirable even, but there's still good in it, I would say. I think there's a bit of good in everyone, but not everyone is a good person, and that's okay if you're not perfect. Nobody is. I grew up as the people pleaser, the therapist friend, and everyone leaned on me for support, but there was no one for me in return. I could get revenge, but is it worth it? Well, I think it depends on the circumstance, but I'd like to think that karma gets them, so I don't have to do anything. Do people deserve a second chance? That's a question that racks my brain, and it's been there for a long time, just sitting in my head. But if you can prove to me years down the line that you are a better person, or if we both come to terms and apologize on both sides, sure. But there are unforgiving things, and some people don't deserve a second chance. I've given people so many chances, more than they deserve, because I couldn't let go of them. I used to always put people's feelings in front of mine, because not only was it empathy, but I wanted them to love me, because I couldn't find it in me to love myself. I spent a long time asking myself, why did I go through so much trouble with this person if they didn't really want me in the first place? If things didn't work out, where would I be? But you know what? I think it doesn't matter anymore. I shouldn't be asking what if questions, because this was 5 years ago. And, you know, it just sounds like I'm complaining now, but please, don't go away. I know that I've been a really bad person in the past, and I've learned. And you keep saying that I'm better now. I'm a better person than I ever was. Then why don't I feel better? Why do I feel like I'm still stuck in that bubble I was 6 years ago? Why do I still feel the same? I know I've changed, and I've learned, and I've grown, but I still feel the same.